Hello? Is this thing on? What is up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sophie. I make videos about whatever I feel like, whenever I feel like. So welcome. Today I'm going to ramble on about the truth about concert photography. There's a lot to talk about with this subject, and I want to be fully transparent and not gatekeep any information because I don't believe in that. No one kept information from me when I was trying to get into concert photography, so why would I do that for anyone else? Like, I'm gonna continue to help people learn and help people follow their dreams and get where they want to go by sharing the experience that I have and the things that I was told for my own journey. I have been shooting for approximately 3 years, shooting concerts for 3 years. Some of my favorite artists that I've got to take pictures of are Glass Animals, Briston Maroney, Beach Fossils, Faye Webster, Knocked Loose, Tosh Sultana, Young the Giant, Milky Chance. There's a lot. And it makes me emotional and makes me want to cry when I think about it. And sometimes, like, even like when my Spotify's playing on shuffle, like it'll be like 3 songs in a row, and I've taken pictures for like each artist in a row, and it's like crazy. I love it. I love doing it so much. But unfortunately, it does not support me full time financially. That is why I have shifted most of my focus to what does make me financially abundant, which is engagements and weddings, and I love doing that so much. But concert photography is like what I do for fun and what I do as more of my hobby side of photography.
It would be awesome if I could get hired by someone to go on tour or something that would bring me financial abundance in the concert photography, music photography world. That would be really cool.
Anyhow, the first common misconception about concert photography that a lot of people don't like to talk about is you don't normally get paid. If you're starting out with a publication and you're shooting shows for big artists, you're not getting paid 9 times out of 10, unless you're the tour photographer with the band or artist. They personally hired you to come and shoot for them, or you're shooting for like a label or something like Universal or something like that, or you're shooting for a venue. Those are like the 3 instances that, yes, you can make a career out of it and you can get paid for doing it. Or like shooting for local bands, you can get paid that way. Like, that's the only time I've really gotten paid for it, is for like smaller local bands that just like throw you some cash to take pictures of their show. But other than that, shooting for artists like some that I've shot for, like Glass Animals or those bigger names, you're not getting paid for it. And that's okay. So I'm just laying that on the line. Like, that's the first thing I'm throwing out there because I think that that's important to know. I think that a lot of people don't realize that, like, I shoot a lot of concerts. I've shot a lot of concerts, but it's not like I'm like, that's not like where I'm making my money as a full-time photographer from. That part of photography I do because I enjoy it. I love music. I've always been a fangirl. Not one of those, but like, it's like a weird situation because people are going to do it for free. It's hard to expect to get paid when there's 10 other photographers that are going to do it for free. And in this case, I'm talking about like venues, like being like a house photographer for the venue. A lot of places pay a house photographer, but in my experience, I haven't got paid when I've worked with a venue, which I think I should. But like I said, I'm still gonna do it. And that's the problem, because like, it's something that you should get paid for. But like I said, there's a line of 10 other photographers that are gonna do it for free. So it's just like a situation where it's a weird standard in the industry, I feel like, right now. Let's backtrack and talk about how you can get started in concert photography and what you can do to do the dang thing. Okay, so the most important thing, the thing that is going to get you into shows, it's going to get you a photo pass, is finding a publication to work with. So there's tons of publications. It doesn't matter if it's a big publication or a tiny publication with 200 followers. regardless, you're still going to be able to get press passes. I've been a part of multiple different publications with like a different following level, different level of publicity, and I've still managed to get photo passes. So it doesn't matter about that. So find one on Instagram. Look at other like concert photographers like following or followers, and you can probably find publications, or just like, I don't know, just look up music publications on Instagram and follow them and reach out to them and see who's accepting applications and apply. A lot of times working with a publication also means having to write articles, so definitely expect that. Sometimes it has to be like a certain length of an article. Sometimes it can just be a little excerpt about the show and your experience, and a little concert review, if you will. Sometimes these publications require like you to contribute a little bit each month. So even if you don't shoot a concert, they'll have you do like an album review or something along those lines, music related. So it's definitely more than just taking pictures at a show. There's more that comes with it. There's some publications that just allow you to upload a photo gallery. That's my favorite, because although I think I'm a pretty good writer, I'm a busy gal, and that's not really like what I'm trying to like devote my time and energy to, is writing articles. So also utilize AI, utilize ChatGPT to help you if that's not really your jam. I'm not saying take a whole article from ChatGPT, but like, it's 2025. AI is becoming part of our everyday lives. So you can either be like against it and fight it, or you can use it to your benefit, because eventually it's going to be implemented in everything we do. So there's really no fighting against it. Anyway, we're not gonna talk about that right now. Okay, but when you're applying for a publication, they're probably gonna ask for some examples of a portfolio. So if you've never shot a concert before, go to an open mic night at a bar, or go to a local venue, or find a local band and go with your camera and take some pictures. Get your experience up, like practice shooting in low lighting, practice messing with your settings on your camera and figuring out how to shoot in low lighting, because it's difficult if you don't know. So especially because you can't use a flash typically. With like local artists, you can, but I like to ask, just because sometimes it can be like disruptive or distracting to an artist. And when you're shooting for big artists in a photo pit, you're definitely not allowed to use flash in the photo pit. So I'm still weary about using flash everywhere, because I'm just used to not being able to use it. So I recommend not, if you're trying to get into concerts with a photo pit or with a photo pass for like big names, I recommend when you're practicing, when you're building your portfolio, try to not use flash, because you're gonna be screwed if you're used to using flash for all of your local gigs, and then you get to a big gig in a photo pit and you can't use flash and you don't know how to work your settings. So that's my advice. But yeah, get your portfolio up, and then that will help you get accepted to a publication. That is how most people get photo passes. There's also, like I said, other ways, like working with a venue, like reach out to venues. This is probably only for people that have a portfolio already, reaching out to venues and seeing if they need some assistance, if they need any shows covered. Maybe like keep the post notifications on for local venues, and when they post a new show, reach out to them like right when they post it and see if they need the show covered, because a lot of times it's like a first come first serve basis. So you really just gotta be on top of that shit. Also just network with people, talk to the people at venues, because you don't know what kind of connection you can make. Like you can make a connection with someone that books shows at a venue, and then any show at that venue you can come and shoot. Like that's what has happened in my experience. Just talk to people, put yourself out there. If you know someone that works at a venue, like ask them who's in charge of booking shows. I don't know, you have to, this industry is so much about like putting yourself out there and telling people who you are and telling people what you do and just going for it. The worst thing that could happen is someone saying no. So you might as well ask. Even that is actually a valid point for another way that you can get into shoot concerts. Reach out to artists on Instagram. Reach out to the openers of artists. I remember 2 years ago, I wanted to shoot for Goth Babe, but the publication that I was with at the time like wasn't really up and running at the moment. It was like a weird situation. So I was like, I'm gonna just DM the opener on Instagram. The opener was Yokelore, and I DM'd him on Instagram, and I was like, hey, I'm a photographer in Cincinnati. If you want any additional photo help, I would love to come out and offer my services for free. Let me know, blah, blah, blah. And he responded and put me on the list, and I got in, and I got to shoot for Yokelore and Goth Babe. So you never know. Like, just reach out to the openers or the main band. You never know. Like I said, the worst thing that can happen is them not respond or say no. You might as well try. So that's like how you can get your foot in the door to start shooting. Some other important things to do as a concert photographer, in my opinion. The biggest one for me is talk to people in the photo pit. Talk to the other photographers. Talk to everyone. Say hi, introduce yourself, exchange your Instagrams, because you never know who you're talking to. I've met several tour photographers. I hate saying that word over and over. It kills me every time. I've met tons of tour photographers in the photo pit, and you never know. They could remember you, and they could need someone to cover a show in the city that you're in, and they could hit you up on Instagram and get you a job. Like, you just never know who you're talking to. And this industry is all about networking. So put a smile on your face, say hi to each other. There's been so many shows that like no one's talking to each other, or no one's like everyone's just standing there with their camera super quiet. And I hate that. Like, the best kind of energy at a show is when everyone's like, there's no like competitive energy. Like, everyone's like introducing themselves and like, what kind of camera do you shoot with? Like, just chatting, you know? Let's do more of that. Let's do more of that, okay? Because I really hate when I'm like, even when I do like say something to someone and it's very like stoic and like they don't really respond, I'm like, I'm gonna go myself now. Just kidding. I can't say that on here. That's bad. I'm trying to be better at that on this platform, because they're gonna censor me. Always know the rules of the venue. It's a pretty standard thing that photographers that are there with a publication can shoot the first 3 songs in the photo pit, no flash. First 3, no flash. That's like the standard rule. I've had experiences where I've been able to shoot the whole time. That's not very common. But like one time I was shooting at a theater type of venue, and there was really no photo pit, so I was just kind of by the stage, and the security was really cool. I was chatting it up with the security the whole time, so they just let me shoot the whole show. Another reason why you should be nice and talk to people, including the venue staff and security. Security is a big one. Become friends with the security. It will benefit you, I promise. Yeah, so first 3, no flash. Just like etiquette in the photo pit, like don't stand with your camera like this, like in the very front middle of the stage where the lead singer is the whole time. Like if there's 4 or 5 other photographers, like get your shot and move on to another spot. Like just being courteous of how you would want someone to act around you. Like you don't want to take up the same spot the whole time. You want to move it along, keep it fair. Get out of people's way. Don't block the crowd the whole time, like duck, and be courteous of your fans and your fellow photographers. And the people on stage. If you take an unflattering picture of someone, don't post it. If you wouldn't want that picture of you out there, don't post it. Like especially of like women. Like it's a big thing, like if they're wearing a skirt or something, like the angle that you're at in the photo pit, like just be courteous and cautious of that kind of thing. That's a given. I don't even know why I'm stepping into that territory. We're not there yet. So other than having the first 3 with no flash, sometimes check with the venue, because this is not a very standard rule these days, but sometimes you can shoot from the crowd after that. Sometimes you can shoot from like the balcony. I've had a lot of experience being able to just kind of roam about afterwards, but I think something kind of shifted in the industry, and they're really a lot more strict about like not shooting after the first 3. So just always make sure you know the rules, you know like the venue's standards, because you don't want to get like blacklisted or like do something out of pocket. Like there's a venue where I live that is so strict about rules, and I don't know why, because they're like not even like a top-notch venue. Like they're literally one of the like smallest venues in the city. And you have to, like, after the first 3 songs, you have to put your bag in your car, or you have to put it in coat check. Like, you can't carry your camera bag around, which is like wild to me. I get not being able to shoot, but like I can't even have my bag on my back. Like, that's crazy. And after a show one time, I like went upstairs and I was sitting just like at the stairs, like watching the show. There's literally like staff up there that saw me. Like, I'm sitting there going through my pictures, like deleting pictures while I'm watching the rest of the show. And security came up with their flashlights, like literally beaming their flashlights like I was like about to blow the place up or something. And they were like, you can't have your bag up here. You can't have your bag up here. Like tweaking out. And I was like, all right, like I'll bring it to coat check. I was just trying to work while I'm watching the show. It's crazy. But then there's other venues that I've shot at that like let you sit in the VIP room and edit in between sets. Like, it's just, it's all about, I don't know, their own rules and regulations, and some venues are cooler than others. So, photo passes, your photo pass. Don't post pictures of your photo pass. Even if it's on accident. I've done this on accident before. Blur it out, because especially if the tour is like going on, because people can Photoshop or like fake a photo pass to look like the real thing if they know what it looks like. And then that can be dangerous. That could put the whole tour in a dangerous situation, because somebody could get back there that isn't supposed to be back there. So that's why you might see like a photo pass blurred out in pictures if it's like on your shirt or something. A lot of people wear the lanyards and put it in there. I'm 3 years into shooting concerts and I haven't acquired one of those yet because I'm lazy and I forget things. So I just like stick it to my shirt or I stick it to my leg or something. And sometimes if I take a picture, I'll forget. But I've been really good at blurring them out lately. So it's also like a time and a place, or a like situational thing. Like if I'm posting it on my Snapchat story with like people that I like, friends, it's one thing. But if you're posting it on like Twitter or Facebook or like Instagram, something more public, TikTok, don't do that, because you don't know who could see that. I think it's kind of different if it's like a couple years past the tour or even like months after the tour, because photo passes will look different. But venues typically have the same one, so being cautious of that I think is important as well, because we don't want any weirdos to get a hold of that. I think that's mostly everything that I can think of. Just like the pointers, truths about concert photography and what it's all about and how to get into it and things to know about it. That's all that I have in my noggin about concert photography today. So if you would like to hear more about this subject, let me know. I can help you any way that I can. And if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Follow me on Instagram, right here, Sophie Say Photography. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.